Hey, James.
Hey, Daniel. Thanks for having me.
My friend. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wouldn't be a summit without you, my friend. I've got some notes here that we're going to play a short video, I think, to intro you. Is that right, Ben? Are you standing by for that, please?
Yeah, well, and actually, even before that, maybe just to even give an even easier intro before we dive into the video, I'd love to just even share a little bit about what I do,
Yes.
so people
Go.
know what's going on.
The
My name is
context,
James.
please.
Exactly. My name is James Orrigo, and basically, I work in children's hospitals all over the country. My wife and I founded a program where we basically help kids create cartoon music videos and using animation and all sorts of stuff. And so I used to work in all the hospitals all over the country. We would travel all over the place. But then when COVID hit, we decided to switch everything virtually and to take, this tool of Zoom and virtual stuff and how to make it as cool as possible. And that's what we ended up doing. So we dove into the virtual reality world. That's where I met you, Daniel, and you helped guide all sorts of cool innovation projects. But yeah, basically we get to send these virtual reality headset kits to patients, whether they're on hospice or at home or in the hospital. And we get to just make, these epic music videos and all sorts of cartoons and 3D design. And I want to show you a video with Ben there to just kind of show you even more.
Kids with cancer deserve the chance to be creative and dream big. That's why I, in partnership with Children's Cancer Research Fund, created the Big Dreams virtual tour. Let me show you.
Whatever you can think about, we can kind of try to create it.
I don't really know how to sing.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
I'm cruising on my space chair. Look over there, there's an alien with crazy hair. Crazy hair.
Our goal is to help kids fighting cancer feel empowered and bring their big dreams to real life using music, design, and virtual reality, no matter where they are. To learn more, visit childrenscancer.org/bigdreamstour.
Awesome. So that's a little bit about what I do, and when you can see the actual patients creating and their awesome ideas, like a home run when you get to actually see what they're creating and using these basic tools of these gaming systems and their creativity. What you're able to do through those screens and how those screens just kind of melt away is just magical. So you can see here one of the patients was saying, I'm just grateful that you found a way to make Zoom actually fun. Like that was like the biggest compliment ever. And when we started this program in 2020, that's literally when COVID hit and everything, and it won all of Zoom's overall innovation award for 2020. Out of all the people that were, all these companies and everyone was using Zoom, and yet our meaningful program was the thing that topped the cake. So it's just kind of encouraging to people to be creatively resourceful with the tools that you have and see how you can use your expertise or your passions to actually make a positive impact with others. And like why we specifically focused on pediatric oncology is because, my mom, she had passed on from terminal cancer. And so as time gone on, you miss the sound of a voice and you apply that. We preserve voices and legacies for some of these kids. It's a whole another thing. So that's where we make it fun by making videos and giving them the control. Like Kaylee here, she wanted to be snowboarding down a mountain with her sisters, collecting pancakes, riding on the back of a llama. So, with animation and 3D design and all this stuff in VR, you can actually create some of this stuff. And it's just beautiful to see how it's brought so many people together. And, you can see her mom there wrote at the bottom, Kaylee had so much fun creating her game. Thank you for bringing so much fun to such a dark time for Kaylee. We are forever grateful. So all this stuff, it's so important. And I'm so excited to see the future of where everyone takes these tools and see how they can keep using these technologies in creative ways that help people and also make a career doing so. I've worked with companies like Google and Bose and Beats by Dre and all sorts of folks to help make the most wonderful things happen for special people. And I'm just excited that I get to share some of this stuff with you all. And hopefully it gets you all excited as well. But this is Tiago, and you can see, what we're doing is creating empowerment and helping kids feel like they, that like they're the rock stars and they're the celebrities of what they're creating. And, I want to just show you this little piece of him it's so cool because he was just on cloud nine when, we're not in the hospitals anymore. But what we are in the hospitals is we're able to stream what patients can actually, like when we premiere their music video, you can actually premiere it in front of all these people all over the hospital. I don't know if you can play this video. Ben, I have it queued
The
up.
past 2 years, I haven't been able to play with kids. Means this has been a very fun experience playing with kids on virtual reality. Let the other kids know this has helped us.
You make that smaller.
Oh my God.
Declan, thank you so much for sharing. That's super helpful, and that's exactly the point of this. You can actually virtually be by someone's side. That's so cool, and not have to be rescued about being, immunocompromised and all that stuff. Like that's so powerful.
He's been in the hospital for 32 days, just this phase. He's just excited for something different because, there's not much to do when you're stuck in a hospital, and he wants to, see some different faces and meet some new people.
For 5 days, our virtual campers tuned in from all over the country to discover new skills like 3D modeling from industry professionals. They learned to create visual effects videos.
Oh, a good couple of minutes. Whoa!
They even got to try their hand designing their own sneakers. Each one of you all are getting custom Nike by You sneakers that we're all gonna design as a team, and then they're gonna actually get mailed to your house, and you're gonna get to keep them.
So cool. White makes it really nice.
Yeah, the white makes it look.
Those look great.
That looks really nice.
That's pretty cool. That's
Do not
pretty
change
too.
anything.
No, I didn't. Project Alpha for being a part of this too.
Oh, we wouldn't have missed it.
But more importantly, they were able to create new friendships.
What the heck?
It's pretty smelly.
Jupiter,
It's
the
pretty
gas
small.
giant.
That's good.
Each moment was magical. I mean, legitimately, we even all learned real magic tricks from a virtual magician. And we even created our own digital magic.
Whoa, it's like a little
This week was all about pushing innovation and using technology in meaningful ways. And it totally worked.
Never gotten a package with a hologram on it before.
Thank you to all of our campers, counselors, speakers, and incredible sponsors for making this week so unforgettable.
These are all the different days? Oh my god, I cannot believe they gave you an Oculus.
Awesome. So hopefully, by watching that, you can actually see the magic that kind of happens with, what we're creating. That started a whole nother program because we noticed that people, we want to bring this community together, because that was one of the biggest issues, was this loneliness from patients and families. So that's why we created this whole virtual camp with Children's Cancer Research Fund, where we literally have all these kids tuned in, gaming together. I mean, you heard Declan there say he hasn't played with kids in 2 years, and yet you can actually put this device on and feel like you're playing with people. It's like, and you all understand this side of things. You understand the virtual excitement that can come from this, and that community that can, that can come from this. It's just so powerful. So, what we're creating and what we're helping other kids create is super encouraging and super powerful. And not only are we making these music videos and cartoons, but we're actually turning these into mobility friendly video games using Instagram's face tracking abilities. And, on the PowerPoint here, you can actually see that, some of these games that we're creating with kids and helping them create, they're well over 1 million. That was from last year, was 1 million. So the tally now is like doubled or tripled now, what we're creating. So it's just absolutely incredible. And you can see the kids are having a blast. It's that distraction that these kids in particular need. Some of these kids that we're working with are towards end of life, or are just having an awful time. You know what I mean? Like, you take for granted what you have, and when you actually get to be in this world that I'm so immersed in, you're just so grateful for what you have. And if you can bring that joy to others, I think that's so powerful. And you can see Ollie here said, I think I fit in here more than I do at school. When he's connecting with all these other patients and having a community, it's beautiful. So there's so much to talk about, and but I just want you to know the importance of going above and beyond, not because you have to, but but because you can. And so if anyone's ever interested in involved or wants to see more, on Instagram, there's all sorts of magic that kind of happens along there. So I just thank you guys for even having me. Kind of just threw so much at you, emotional things going on, but it's beautiful to see how you can use these tools in creative ways, and I'm excited to see what you all continue to create for others.
James, we still have a bit of time, but I couldn't not jump in with you because we're friends, we go back, and to see your journey, to see your passion, to see your work with these kids, every single time I get goosebumps, and most times you bring out a new video, I've got tears in my eyes. I cannot tell you how much of an inspiration you are and what your team does. And what I find fascinating, I mean, when we first met about 2 years ago, you were struggling with how to adapt what you're doing because of the pandemic. And you were completely new to VR, and we jumped in and you got a headset and we had a bit of a jump. Next thing I knew, you were more creative than most of the people I know. And it wasn't for you about that. It was just like, I need something to connect to the kids. It was always about the kids. Here's another tool. Let me use this tool like that and figure it out. And I think in some ways, the fact that it wasn't about XR for you, you were just like, it was about the kids. You came at it with a different, completely open-minded. And whatever team you have behind you, every video is on point. And so for me, it's an honor to know you. I genuinely mean that, because you are doing work. I mean, I was making notes listening to you. If VR does nothing else than enable your work, I'd be happy. If that's all this medium does is for you to make those kids happy, job done.
I know.
I cannot think of a better. I can think of other use cases, but none better than the work you do. So thank you, my friend. Thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, and all this stuff isn't possible without collaborating, and that's what I love so much about this community. Is like everyone is so welcoming and sharing ideas. Like I don't claim to be an expert on anything. Like all this stuff that we do, we just try to find the right people to make the most magic happen. Like you and all sorts. And like even when we're making these games, we're actually making it. There was a girl that wanted to create a game that she turns into a Roblox character and shoots down her cancerous eyeballs, which she's battling eye cancer, and now you can actually turn into her character using AR, and that's a whole nother experience. But it's all done because of working with a team and working with people. And so thank you for this space and for the time to be able to share some of the magic that's happening.
Absolutely, no problem. And then we mustn't let you go without mentioning that this team is putting on the Ready Player Golf 3 coming up shortly, and you're actually the beneficiary organization. So anybody interested in supporting James, please check out Ready Player Golf 3. To support, you can buy tickets. You can just help us share it around. It's going to be in Engage, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm always excited when you bring new stuff out, and I couldn't think of a more deserving beneficiary for Ready Player Golf 3 as well. James, thank you. See you soon, my friend.
Well, thank you. And Camille, who wrote in the chat there about your son is a cancer survivor, feel free to send me a message. We'd love to work with him and help him dream big. So just send me a message.
Fantastic.
And thank you guys for having me. Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely, James. Thank you.
James.